Hi everyone, welcome to yet another Instagram Live here at the Vancouver Aquarium Marine Mammal Rescue Centre. You might remember me from our last live, but my name is Kendra and I'm one of the registered veterinary technologists here on site. Today we are going to take you through and introduce you to some of our new animals. We now have 62 harbor seal pups on site, and as you all know, 2 baby sea otters, Tofino and Luna. Today we're going to start with our harbor seals first. Give you guys an introduction, because I think there was probably a quarter of them here the last time we did this, and then we'll finish off with a visit to our sea otters. So we'll start off in our first aisle here. Put any questions you might have in the chat and we'll just walk you through. So this aisle here are all of our newest rescued animals. So these are our smallest harbor seals on site. One of our favorite names right now, Mr. Chub Marine. They're all a little bit sleepy post-feed. Ravioli over here, who was our 46th seal so far this season. Another fantastic name for the season right now. If you guys are interested in naming one of our harbor seal patients this year, you can check out the link in our bio to learn more on how you can do that.
Oh, questions are starting to pop up.
Okay.
How long do the animals stay in quarantine for?
Oh, that is a great question. So these harbor seals stay in quarantine for a minimum of 14 days. So all of these guys have been here under that time frame, and then after that they'll move over to the out of quarantine section of our facility.
Now you mentioned that they've just eaten. How many times a day do they get fed?
Yeah, so these guys right now are getting tube-fed milk formula, and they get that 5 times a day. Once they move over onto a fish diet, they will get fed 4 times a day. And then once they're in pools with other animals, it goes down to 3 times a day, but bigger amounts, so it all sort of evens out. You can see just how many tubs we have here in our in-quarantine side of the facility, so we'll move over to our next aisle and see some of the bigger kids that we have so far.
How long do they stay with us at the rescue center on average?
Yeah, on average they're here for around 3 months. Some a little bit shorter, some a little bit longer. We do have certain categories that they have to fall into to be released. So they have to be a certain weight. They have to get their blood work and their exams done. And some of these guys progress a little slower than others. So the time varies, but we start seeing some releases happening in the early fall. You can see these guys are a little bit bigger than the first aisle. They've been here a little bit longer. Definitely eating lots.
Are these guys in fish school? And if so, how long do they go through it?
That's a great question. Some of these guys have started weaning onto fish. A lot of them are still being tube fed. So they get weaned over a period of 5 days. And then they will be on a full fish diet, and that's when their fish school really starts. These guys, it doesn't always come naturally to them, so we do have to help them through what we call, fish school. Some of them catch on really quick and are eating fish on their own in a couple days. If any of you remember Gustav, we'll visit him later, but he is taking a little bit longer to learn, as some do. So he is still being helped a few weeks post weaning onto fish. Quarantine section.
For the ones that are getting formula fed, is there a special marine mammal formula, or do they basically all get baby formula?
No, so there is a special marine mammal formula that we use, a special recipe that involves some vitamins, some formula powder, some fish oil, all specific to pinnapeds or these seals. That is specifically for them.
Another question about fish school. Do they all need to attend fish school to graduate?
Everyone here needs to attend fish school to graduate. I think we've only had one seal this year that started eating fish on her own while she was still in the weaning process, and that was Poppy. He was one of our second or third pups on site. She was extra smart, and she's already in one of the big pools. But yeah, they all need to attend fish school, and then how quickly they graduate, that just depends on the seal and their instincts and whether or not they kick in. So we'll move over now to our out of quarantine area. So all of these guys have been here for longer than 14 days, and all of these guys are on fish right now, or close to the end of being weaned onto fish.
What are the reasons the animals might be brought into the center? And of course, there's lots of thanks on here for the great work that we do here at the Rescue Center.
Well, thank you guys for supporting us. There's so many reasons that they can be brought into the center. A lot of times it's what we call maternal separation. These guys, their mums will leave them on the beach or somewhere while they go off and hunt. And during that time, depending on where they leave them, they don't always leave them in the best spots. So there can be some human interference at times. They can be injured. Sometimes mom will leave and maybe not come back. So if they're losing weight, anything along those lines. But it is common for them to be left on beaches alone for hours at a time. So if you do ever come across one, give them plenty of space. Give your local Marine Mammal Rescue Center a call. And always take some pictures from afar for us, because that really helps us assess them.
How old do you estimate most of the animals that we've seen so far? Are they days or weeks old?
Oh, that's a good question. So the first aisle we went through, a lot of those pups would probably be 2 weeks old or under. The ones that you're seeing right now are more likely to be close to a month. So we don't wean them onto fish until they're about 3 to 4 weeks old. I'm getting interrupted here. So these guys are definitely a little bit older, a little bit bigger. We do not teach them how to roll over like that. They're just naturally talented and very vocal. So super common for these guys to be vocal as well. Yeah, you got a lot to say over here. Doing my job for me. I appreciate it. So once these guys finish their fish school, so they're eating fish on their own. Once these guys are eating fish on their own, we will move them into a pool with other seals that are also eating fish on their own. We put them in at similar sizes, so one's not going to eat all of the fish and someone else gets nothing. So we kind of pair them up based on who would be a good match for each other. Similar sizes, similar speeds of eating. And then we start with them off in a small pool. So we've got 2 seals in this pool right here. And you'll notice they have little heart tags on their head. So this is how we can tell them apart. Once they get into a pool, they all kind of start to look alike. So we need a way to determine who is who when we're weighing them, when we're giving them their vitamins. And these little tags are 3D printed, they're biodegradable, and they'll fall off when they molt, which is great. From the small pools, once they've sort of figured out pool life and interacting with other seals, they get moved into one of our pre-release pools. These guys can fit quite a few seals in each pool. And these are some of our biggest and oldest seals on site right now. They've been here from the very beginning. So every pool has a space for them to haul out. Some of them are better at hauling out than others. They're also perfectly capable of sleeping in the water if they choose to do that as well.
There's a question here on their names. How do we name them?
Yeah, that is a great question. So if you go through to our website, you can learn a little bit more about how you guys can name these seals. We do drain and refill their pools just to make sure everything is staying nice and clean, which is why these guys aren't quite filled all the way up yet, but they will be shortly. We've got Alfie here. He gets a pool all to himself. He's a very lucky little seal. He'll be moved in shortly with some other animals. And now, for the moment, most of you are probably here today. We're going to have a little visit to Tofino first. Tofino is the first of 2 sea otters that we've rescued this year.
Oh, lots of hearts going up.
Yeah, I figured there would be. Go in and see what she's up to. I think she's having a little snooze. So she's in her own enclosure now. She's got her own pool, lots of space. Pretty self-sufficient little otter these days. Good snooze. It's pretty warm out here lately.
A few comments on here about adopting Tofino, so thank you guys for all your support. Kendra, how can these guys go on and adopt some of these animals?
Yeah, absolutely. So the link to our website is in our bio, and from there you can see who's up for adoption. So, and I should clarify, it is symbolic adoption. You do not get to take them home, but you can symbolically adopt both Tofino and Luna on our website, as well as a lot of our harbor seals. If there is a seal on there that you would love to adopt but you don't see on the website, let us know. We'll see what we can do about that. But yeah, definitely check out our website. You can figure out how to symbolically adopt them, how to donate, how to support, all that good stuff, which we very much appreciate.
So, good snooze.
Very sleepy little otter. You can see her hind flippers there in the pool. And as she spreads them out like that, that's how they help to thermoregulate. These guys are pretty good at doing that, especially Tofino now that she's a little bit older. So she's just keeping her little hind flips dipped in the pool, keeping the rest of her body dry, just being a great little otter.
Question here on how old is Tofino?
That's a good question. She's getting close to about 3 months old right now. So if anyone remembers Quatsi from a couple of years ago, that's about how old Quatsi was when she first arrived. So they're about similar sizes now to that.
Question here, obviously lots of people mentioning Tofino, saying hello. Have Luna and Tofino met?
That's the burning question these days. So as a lot of you probably know, they were both in our hospital in the same nursery for a while. So they had separate cribs, separate tables for grooming and all of that stuff. And then Tofino has since been moved out here. So Tofino and Luna have had some brief introductions. We keep things very brief for now, just because they're quite different sizes and Luna's still going through her rehabilitation process. But everything has been going very smoothly. We've got a very sleepy otter here for you guys today, and I think our second otter is probably just as snoozy, but... Alright, we're gonna go find Luna now, so we'll say goodbye to Tofino, let her keep snoozing. We'll head back over to our hospital.
Question on how much Tofino weighs. She's just over 6 kilos. So in comparison, she was just over 2 kilos when she came in.
She has been a fantastic eater for us. You guys have just a heads up. There will be an influx of water. Alright, so we'll make our way back over. See what Luna's up to. Last time we checked on her, she was also having a nap. It's lazy kind of day around here. We're all a little bit jealous. Really briefly. I won't spend a whole lot of time in here with Luna just because she is still going, having a good nap. We're gonna stay as quiet as possible in here just so we don't disturb Luna as she naps. As we already have.
Just woke her up.
So Luna is just under 4 weeks old right now. She's been with us, just under 4 weeks, and she was pretty fresh when we first picked her up. She's still spending a lot of time in her crib. She's on her little water bed with some ice underneath her to keep her cool. And you probably noticed she does have the little orange pylon that all of the otters seem to love.
Question here about the otters. Were they abandoned or injured, and why did they come in?
Yeah, so these guys were both found alone, and sea otter mums are a little different to harbor seal mums in that sense that they don't leave their pups alone. So we worked very closely with the Department of Fisheries and Oceans Canada to determine that these guys needed help because their mums were no longer with them.
Lots of people saying hi. We're gonna say bye to Luna right now. We're gonna head out to the seals again.
Got quite a size difference between both of our sea otters. Luna is, I think, still younger now than Tofino was when we first got her. So two very different levels as far as the otters go. And she's still So we're just finishing up here. You've got the full site tour. Just a quick one today because we are running off our feet these days. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting us, all your comments. Again, check out the link in our bio for our website to see how you can support. They're all saying goodbye. How you can support, how you can symbolically adopt some of our animals. And we will see you at the next one. Thanks so much, guys.